See this film right here? 4 episodes from 1984. I was able to confirm yesterday that it's a lost film, and by confirm, what I mean is I've confirmed that. I didn't look it up and see that someone else posted it on Lost Media Wiki or anything like that, because it seems to be that I am the only person looking for it. Like, the only video I can find online is a supposed trailer that was posted like 8 years ago, but it doesn't look like a trailer for the film, considering it came out in 1985 and the camera quality of the footage shown in the trailer looks HD. Doesn't look something that would have been possible in 1985. Technology wise. And it's just a shame. Anyway, I didn't mention this on YouTube, but I mentioned it on my Instagram on Tuesday, but I didn't make a video yesterday because I was at the Gorillaz concert for Arena in Dublin. Had to leave the house at 5:55. It took about three hours to get there, roughly. So 3 hours to get there. However, it actually didn't take that long to get in, which was surprising. So it didn't start until I think like 7:45. So something like 7:45. And that they had the opening act, which was Minchild San something. I don't remember her name, I'm sorry. She came on and performed a song, which I thought was alright. And then she introduced herself. She brought on like a drag queen or something to start twerking while she sings, and she also took her coat off and was wearing very sexual clothing, was twerking on stage and all. There's children who attend it. Like, I'm talking below 10 single digits. I mean, it's something that we've been debating on Twitter a couple of days ago because of that comedian Jerry whatever who had his gig cancelled, that he's been performing at this certain place for decades. So the people who work at that place know his style of humor, and apparently he's known to get his penis out. He does it all the time, apparently. But he did it this year, and someone complained and they cancelled his gig. And Marcos was saying, right, if it were anyone else, fine, but this guy has been known for doing it for decades. And I was thinking, is this the same? I would say no, because this isn't a Moonchild whatever concert. This is a Gorillaz concert. So he should not have done that. So she did the first song, introduced herself, took her coat off, did like 3 more songs. I was like, okay, thank you everyone. And I was thinking, oh, thank God it's off, because like for the next 3 songs were terrible. Like I'll get into the lyrics later, because there's not a single good thing about those three songs. Thank you so much, everyone. Thinking she's leaving, but then she performs another song, and she's saying thank you so much again. So once again, I'm thinking, okay, it's over. But no, I don't know how many songs she played, but she was on for about 40 minutes, and then they took another 40 minutes to set up a stage for Gorillaz, which I don't understand, because the stage already looked set up. Like, there were... Okay, I'm gonna get my dinner. So, the thing that I thought too was that it took 40 minutes between Moonchild exiting and Gorillaz entering, despite the fact that everything was set up, and like, it wasn't stuff that was set up exclusively for Moonchild. There was stuff that Moonchild wasn't using, like guitars and drums and all. All Moonchild needed was a turntable and a table to put the turntable on. That's it, and it was there. And like, it didn't need moved, because I think that Gorillaz was using it as well. It's just whatever. So that, you know, it was annoying, but fortunately the rest of the evening was good. Fantastic, actually. I have some clips on my Instagram, I have some clips on my YouTube. Although my YouTube video where I had trance, except for a bit at the start, Tomorrow Comes Today, and 192000, except for a bit at the end, because my phone only had like 10 minutes of storage for a video. I uploaded that to YouTube, and it got copy claimed, but there's someone else who was at the exact same concert and it uploaded some songs. Wasn't the same songs that I uploaded, but why is this person allowed to do it and I'm not? I mean, I see people all the time uploading, getting their... I mean, I don't see it, because I've only ever been to really 2 concerts in my life, but people get the phone out and they record it and upload it to YouTube and nothing happens to them. But when I do it, all of a sudden it's a copyright issue. Anyway, I'm done for now. There will be a bit more though. But first, the unbearable weight of massive talent. Universally positive ratings: Nicolas Cage, Sharon Horgan, Pedro Pascal, Lily Moshin, Tiffany Haddish, Neil Patrick Harris, Demi Moore. It's good. The Killing 1956, universally positive ratings, directed by Stanley Kubrick. I don't recognize anyone. Actually, Rodney Dangerfield does sound familiar, but I don't know where from. It is unbearably bad. No pun intended. It is August 2022. Please do not make any Among Us jokes. It's far outdated. Imposter, universally negative ratings: Gary Sinise, Vincent D'Onofrio, Madeline Stowe, Tony Schnellhub, Mickey Pfeiffer, Gary Durdan, Adam Rodriguez. It's good, it's based. I care a lot. Mixed ratings. Rosamund Pike, Isaac Gonzalez, Peter Dinklage. Messiah Whitlock Jr., Stuart McNairy. Um, I shouldn't have said that the killing is insufferably bad or comparably bad. The problem with that movie was just that it was boring, which maybe I just get bored by old movies. I don't know, because there hasn't been a single one that I've seen in the past year that I've liked. Um, but for this one is just terrible. Like the whole point of the film is that you can get away with. I'm sorry, not you can get away, but it's there's nothing wrong with ruining lives as long as you're doing it for the sake of feminism. Like the whole film is that Rosamund Pike's character, uh, like she's friends with this doctor, and then she gets a doctor to she works with like the doctor works with old people, and they work this system so that the doctor will inform the court that the old people are not mentally stable enough for to be independent, so they need to go into a care home. So Rosamund Pike brings them to the care home, says, I'm your legal guardian now, and the care homes are basically prisons for the old people, and then Rosamund Pike goes and sells everything that she can from the old people's homes. And at the start, she in the voiceover she says, "There are no good people," but it still feels like she's trying to say, "I'm a good person," when she really isn't. This DMs as of 20 to 6 p.m. on Thursday, the 18th of August 2022. So, as said, I posted on my story that there wouldn't be any videos on Wednesday as in yesterday. And Jack said, what event? Because I didn't say why. I just said I was going to a special event because I wanted it to be a surprise. I told him to check my story on Thursday. He says, okay, big boy. He's seen it, but he hasn't made any comments. Anyway, I posted a photo of the audience before Michelle Dean came on at the concert. Put that in the story, and my friend DM me saying, "Hope you enjoy." But I didn't see it until when I left, so I replied then. I did, thanks. And then today she said, "Good luck for today." I thought that she meant my theory test, despite the fact that my theory test isn't happening today. So I said, "What happens today?" And she said, "Results will." And then I said, "My results because I've seen them." Um, I think it's best if I wait until I'm back in school before sharing my results. Anyway, so because the first song that was played at the event was M1A1, and I had that as a story, I sent that to McCubry saying 2 years, 8 months later, and I get to hear it live. Well, I should have said got to hear it live because it makes it seem like that in 2025 I'm gonna get to hear it live, but what I meant was from January 2020 to now because I sort of fell in love with that song at around January 2020, and I don't remember what instigated. Like, I think McCubry just asked me out of the blue, like, my favorite song, and I said that, and he like went to the bathrooms or whatever to get out his phone and listen to it. When he came back, he he started bowing down to me because he's probably thinking this sounds like cult music or that just my taste is crap, which I mean, fine, but I thought that he would have seen Day of the Dead because the song does start off with a sample from Day of the Dead. um, because like the first minute of the song is the bit at the start of Day of the Dead where the guy has a speakerphone saying, "Hello, is anyone there?" over and over again. So, send it to McCreepery. He replies back, "Nice mate. You still in Dublin?" "No, I'm back home." That made no sense. Sorry. I mean, was it a good night? Yeah, except the opening act took their coat off, started playing crap music. Sorry, I should have. I just realised that I didn't specify that our costume and beneath her coat was very sexual, and there were children in the audience. I'll have to message him again. Anyway, started playing crap music. Got a drag queen. I'm just going to say drag queen for now because it could. I don't. Just, bald guy with a beard, and I don't even know what he was wearing, but it looked like. The only thing I think of is when Tom Holland was on Lip Sync Battle and was singing Umbrella, or lip singing. I think it was Umbrella that he did. Like whatever he was wearing then, that's what this guy was wearing, I think. Anyway, they all started twerking. She played for like 40 minutes and it took another 40 for the actual band to start playing. Other than that, it was fantastic. Who was that? Minchad Sanelli. Don't know how to pronounce it. Jesus, you mate, never heard of him. You know that Adele bought the tickets. I'll look them up on Spotify and see what you had to go for. I screenshotted the lyrics for one of the songs that she played, and the chorus of the song is who came first, chicken or the egg or the chicken with the egg, and that she says that another 3 times. Like that's the entire chorus. There's nothing else to it. Like that's something that I would suggest that she improves because a bunch of her other songs also had choruses that were just the same words over and over again. I mean, I got that that's what a chorus is, but the fact that the chorus is repeating a phrase 4 times instead of, just look at any song with a chorus and notice the fact that the chorus doesn't repeat itself within. There's no way for me to describe what I'm talking about. I'm just going to continue. Excuse my stomach. This was the lyrics of one of the songs she played, and the others also had the same words being repeated over and over. You should, right? This doesn't make any sense grammatically. You should not, mate. It's just like Arctic Monkeys who came first, the chicken or the dickhead. I said, he only says that once in Pretty Visitors, which was a great Arctic Monkey song. Like the difference between Who Came First, Chicken or the Dickhead and Pretty Visitors and this song was that he only said Chicken or the Dickhead once. And he didn't mention chickens or dickheads at all throughout the rest of the song. But Minchatelli gets repeated over and over. Plus it's a chorus. So it gets repeated over and over again. And as for the chicken or the dickhead, that's part of a verse. So it's only said once. Anyway. I know, mate, great song though. What's your favourite Arctic Monkey song? Currently Bad Phone, but it changes all the time. I expect them to say that it's crap. But he didn't, he said, that's a class one. I like all the songs and tried quality bass. I have to listen to the whole album because I can't listen to them on their own. Which I understand that. I don't do that though, but yeah. Cornerstone is probably my favourite at the minute. Have you gotten your A level results? I shared them. And I said that it is what it is because you have to study 24 poems because you have to write an essay on 2 random ones out of that 24. And the second part was about The Crucible, a based play about the evils of McCarthyism. I was going off the assumption that he knew what McCarthyism is. Good thing is that he does, fortunately, so I don't have to explain it to him. Because I did have to explain it to McKnight when I was explaining it to him. Anyway, evil's McCarthyism. The teacher said that the modern day McCarthyism is abortion, when really it's cancel culture. The question was really vague, like, does evil exist in the play? Or something like that, when all the practice questions were specific. I'm trying to think of one. It's like, I mean, it isn't specific, but it's more specific. It's like John Proctor's evil. But with a question like, is there evil? All it is that you have to say yes, and then provide it with evidence. But the thing is that it's a 120-page script, and you have to memorize entire lines, which I don't get that, because we're not acting the play out. We're just studying it. Anyway. Excuse my stomach again. Also, we had to memorize quotes from the entire 120-page or so script. There is no exam for media in year 13, but even then, screw media. The teacher says that stupid as crap, like the guy who played Black Panther sacrificed himself for BLM. He died of cancer. Wouldn't have been my choice of subjects, mate. Sounds a bit crap. I know, but I like the GCSE, and I thought at A level it'd be the same, but just with more content. Also, I have no clue. Like, this is McCoubry saying, and it's very important that you know that McCoubry says this next thing. I also have no idea how McCarthyism is related to abortion. Exactly. Thank you. But I'm just a pleb, I guess. I screenshotted him saying that he doesn't understand how McCarthyism and abortion are the same thing. I screenshotted that and put it in our English group chat, and I've never read anything out from the English group chat before, but I feel like that I need to this time. So, screenshot said that in. One person said, right? I wrote about abortion once. I honestly can't tell if she's on my side or not. I mean, when she says right, it does seem like she is, but when she says that she wrote about abortion, it doesn't. Oh, yeah, with those two sentences, it does seem like she's on my side, but a bit later, I'm pretty sure that she does go on to the other side. Right, so, I've probably given this person a name before, but I'm just gonna call her. I'm gonna call her Karen, because this person is the she is the most basic person like ever. Like, if you go on, like, if there was a dictionary definition of a basic bitch, it would be her. She says, the teacher said it was. I said, just because she said it was doesn't mean it's true. Why would she tell us that if she didn't want us to write about it? Yeah, she wants us to write about it, but it doesn't mean it's true. Because, and I was thinking in my head, I mean, sure, the media teacher said that, Chadwick Boseman sacrificed himself for BLM, but that wasn't true, considering he died of cancer. Anyway, McCarthyism is blaming others for something so you don't take the blame. Modern day is abortion, where people can earn money for fighting women in America for getting abortions. I just realized that our definition of McCarthyism is wrong. That is not what McCarthyism is. McCarthyism is an accusation of something bad with no evidence. The word McCarthyism came about in the 50s when it was very common for people to be accused of being a communist spy for no reason. And in fact, the film Imposter is all about this. So because I was thinking about how teacher said Black Panther sacrificed for BLM, I said, "You clearly have not been in a media studies class." She says, "You obviously haven't been listening on our English class." I say, "McCarthyism is blaming others for something, so you." Oh, sorry, I took her, like, I copied her text and took out the bit with abortion and replaced it with dance culture. So, McCarthyism is blaming others for something, so you don't take the blame. Modern day is cancel culture, where if you're offended by anything, you can have that person arrested. Also, I have been listening. That's why I've been able to pick up on the disgusting takes that the teacher has. Yeah, and so is abortion, Dylan. She literally taught us it. And cancel culture isn't having people arrested. Is that so? No one's been arrested for cancel culture, really? Tell that to Marcus. Tell that to the guy that was arrested a couple weeks ago for sharing a meme, right? This really should be a worst take segment. And this is English. This isn't media studies. Anyway, I'm going to continue. I say, "It isn't abortion." She says, "It's ensuring someone's career is ruined, like in the 50s for communism, and in Salem where you could be arrested. Salem, 50s, and today is the only time you could be arrested." That is true. Um, well, for what this is about. So for Salem, if in fact, if we were in Salem, I could accuse this person of being a witch, and she would get killed. And in 1950s America, because of this argument, I'd be pretty angry, and I could say to the government that I could report to the government, to the police, that she's a communist spy. So, as for modern day, abortion has got nothing to do with it. It's not abortion, it's cancel culture. Because you're having your name and possibly your life dragged through the mud because of what is basically nothing. Anyway, I say, "You're acting like the system hates me. My sister in Christ, you are the system." She says cancel culture isn't getting arrested. I say tell it to Marcus. She says, "I'm literally talking about what we learn." The girl that said right at the start says, McCarthyism is a sense of taking your views and opinions that belong to people who are high up within the social status and placing them upon others with less social status, and a result forcing them to agree with their opinions, such as abortion. I think it seems like she just got that off of Google and then added abortion at the end. The basic girl just says, "This, what she said is true. Yes, Queen," basically. The only other guy in the group chat says, "This is very entertaining," which I like because it did remind me of Marcus. And I actually said to him, "Very Marcus take of you." So this girl says, "I'm arguing with an idiot." I say, "That's great. You retreat the playground insults." She said, "I'm being honest." I said, "That's so." The guy says, "Who the hell is Marcus?" I say, "Crap. I forgot you weren't in my forum class. Be right back." I quickly went to Out of Frames Instagram because I knew that they had screenshotted that thread where Boris Bojo said that, so sad that Salman Rushdie had been stabbed. We need to defend freedom of speech. And Marcus just says, "Your government literally arrests people for tweets." I put that in, and then that was basically the end of the conversation. It didn't really end, especially since both of the definitions of McCarthyism that were provided by the two people are not true whatsoever. I'm going to look up on Google what the definition of McCarthyism is, and before I do it, I've got put it in my tab. I'll do it on my phone actually. I would say that the definition of McCarthyism is, and I know I've said it earlier in the video, but a false accusation of being something that is perceived to be bad with no evidence. Now, you could argue that yes, it is abortion because apparently, I haven't been able to confirm this because I haven't done the research because it's stupid, but apparently you can report people who have had abortions to the police and have them arrested. But the difference between it happening in Salem and the 50s is that context will be considered. Currently, it might change, and if it does, I bet you it's Joe Biden. Bet you it's his fault. So, on that sense, yeah, but what they're trying to say is that the new McCarthyism is abortion because the abortion rights are being taken away. No. Also, you need to go bigger than that. Like abortion, I don't know how many there is, but there's more people being cancelled than there are more people having abortions. Because it's a wider range of people that it could affect. Right? Because for abortion, it can only affect women. But for cancel culture, it can and will affect everyone, because the way cancel culture works is that it will never be happy until everyone is cancelled. I know I'm making it sound like cancel culture is a real physical thing, like it's a person, but what I mean is that you have the group of people who cancel people, and you have people who defend it. Go, yes, we need to do this. We need to cancel these people. I'll give you an example. Someone was cancelled. We'll say James Gunn. James Gunn was in that circle of people who supported cancel culture, but then he was cancelled because of some tweets he made in 2009. This was in... So, say that there's 50 people in this circle. We've got James Gunn, Frankie Boyle. Actually, I'll just need those two for now. So, they're going around cancelling people. Like, imagine there's a council, and the council has deemed that these people have done wrong and need punished, and the punishment is being cancelled. But then the council has turned around and decided that James Gunn needs cancelled. So they cancel him, and now there's only 49 people left in the circle. And Frankie Boyle, who is in the circle, is going, yes, he deserves it. You know, this is such a great thing and all that. But then they cancelled Frankie Boyle like last week, and now he's been kicked out, despite the fact that he was one of the people doing the cancelling, because he was one of the people cancelling Marcus. So it is cancel culture. Technically, yes, it is abortion. But because cancel culture is affecting more people, you need to say that it's cancel culture. You shouldn't say it's abortion. Anyway, let's look up the Google definition of McCarthyism. vociferous, I don't know what that word means, campaign against alleged communists in the US government and other institutions carried out under Senator Joseph McCarthy in the period 1950 to 1954. Many of the accused were blacklisted or lost their jobs, though most did not in fact belong to the Communist Party, right? So all you really need there is that many of the accused were blacklisted or lost their jobs, though most did not in fact belong to the Communist Party. So, for cancel culture, they dig up that James Gunn, Frankie Boyle, whoever, has made a very slightly offensive joke years ago. Well, for Frankie it was recent, but for James it was 9 years ago. Well, the tweet was 2009, he got cancelled in 2018. Yeah, 2018. So, I forget where I was going because I was trying to remember what year it was. So they dug up the tweet that he made in 2009 and said, "This man is a sexist. We can't have sexists making him out," and then Disney kicked them out from directing Guardians 3. And yes, James has come back. He is now still directing Guardians 3, but, and this is an argument that Marcus was having like on Tuesday. He's probably still having it now. That just because an attempt to cancel someone didn't work does not mean that cancel culture isn't real, or that the attempt wasn't bad already. Because that's like saying that there's nothing wrong with attempted murder because it was only attempted, it wasn't carried out successfully. So I'm just gonna go on to the Twitter segment because I have 14% left. My phone is Twitter as of 6 p.m. So She-Hulk is out today. I haven't seen it yet because Sundays. It's got crab ranks on IMDb because apparently it's all girl power, and my brother said that the entire episode is just trying to say that she is stronger than the Hulk. When I don't know if she is or not. From the comics, I'm going to assume that she is because the whole point of She-Hulk is the exact same point of Supergirl, where they couldn't be bothered making an original character for female inclusion, so they just took a male character and made them female. And Supergirl is stronger than Superman, so I'll assume that She-Hulk is stronger than He-Hulk. And they'll do that for the sake of feminism. I don't really mind as long as it's not too in your face. Anyway, why the housing market is about to crash? Joe Biden. Even if we're talking about the UK, it's Joe Biden. Rest in peace. Who died? I saw that George Floyd was trending there. Come on, man. It's been over 2 years. Just so you can... Nope, not trending. TB News. Why is it trending? Let me guess. So, TB News, so evil. Never mind. Turns out TB News is not trending. I expected it to be that a bunch of leftists discovered that TB News exists and are trying to cancel it because TB News is the only right-leaning television channel in the United Kingdom. I was going to say mainstream media, but then it isn't really mainstream. So why is George Floyd trending? That's a based comment. George Floyd was a known breaker of the law, and his death instigated the BLM movement. Thomas O'Halloran, who was 87, was an innocent white busker, don't know what that means, on a mobility scooter. Who will be taking the knee for him? And people will say that the difference between George dying and Thomas dying is that they killed George because he was black, but they killed Thomas in an accident when George Floyd died of a fentanyl overdose. And this man was shot to death by. I'm going to assume it's. Well, doesn't even say shot to death, but he was killed. I'm going to assume by the police. And he wasn't a threat to anyone. He was 87 years old. Never forget that George Floyd had lethal levels of fentanyl in his system and that he died due to a heart attack. One artery was 90% blocked and the other two 75% blocked. Cop Derek Chauvin was not responsible for his death. $2 billion in damage and months of riots based on a lie. Another based comment. In fact, this one is more based than the other one. I would say that Derek should still be punished, but he did not kill George. It's the fact that he assaulted George. And it could be argued that it was attempted manslaughter. If that, I mean, that does seem like an oxymoron, so I don't know. But, he nearly killed him. The only reason why he didn't kill him was because he just died of the overdose before Derek had the chance to manslaughter him. But if they didn't nail on his neck, it wouldn't matter. Like if they picked him up and went as fast as they could to the hospital, he wouldn't have got there in time. Excuse my stomach again. Jamaica had a polio vaccine. Some Gen Z and millennials are asking their parents for answers. So here's what you should know about polio. After a resident just outside of NYC was confirmed to have the virus in July, polio was found last week in the city's wastewater. Well, I'll tell you why they found polio in New York City's wastewater. Because New York City is a dump. That's why they found bubonic plague in San Francisco. Because of the amount of needles, human feces, blood, probably, but just waste on the streets of San Francisco. It is not a beautiful place. It is like going. It's like going through Christian's house. That's what walking through San Francisco is like. So he tells his Gators profile picture back to the original instead of that baby crap. Thank God. Anyway, I will not eat the bugs, but shrimp on the other hand. Take the veganism pills, don't toss. Sorry, but I hate the Antichrist. Unfathomably based. Make non-political cartoon. Already more controversial than the political ones. LMAO. Andrew Tate 2024. No, come on, man. Vladimir regime propagandists won't we go near the stories clear. The FBI planted those pipe bombs. There's no other way to Explain this cover up. I am not watching 5 minutes and 38 seconds. Please don't be copyright music. Remember back in 2013 when Rihanna or like Hayley Williams would sing this beautiful verse, only for B.O.B. or Eminem to just jump on and start screaming at you? Ringtone got me like. The reason why I was saying about, beautiful verse, then Eminem or B.O.B. coming up, is because that song is, I think it's called Watch Me Lie by Eminem and Rihanna. And it starts off with Rihanna giving, beautiful, kind of beautiful, only for Eminem to come on and just be Eminem. So, free speech is burning the American flag, but hate speech is burning the pride flag, apparently. This is such a delusional take. One of these flags represents a government and is therefore inherently political. The other represents a group of people. The US flag doesn't represent people, and burning it is a political statement. Burning the LGBT flag is bigotry. You are a bigot for not putting a Q on that LGBTQ. This literally affirmed the message in the comic. Yes, we got 16 people in one lobby to create this. This is Fortnite. Fortnite be like, is this, yes! Black Knight and Benito Mussolini and the Blue Meanie and Cowboy Curtis and John B. the Genie, Robocop, Terminator, Captain Kirk and Darth Vader, Lopan, Superman, every single Power Ranger, Bill S. Preston and Theodore Logan, Spock, the Rock, Doc Ock, and Hope, and Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf. I thought that was. I don't know. There's not enough people in Ultimate Showdown to cover the amount of people that will be in Fortnite. What you're best off comparing it to is the film Epic Movie, because they have everything in Epic Movie. They've got James Bond talking to Mystique, talking to I was about to say Avatar, but this came out before Avatar. But like any big film franchise you can think of, it's in Epic Movie, because Epic Movie is like when a child takes all the toys that they have and plays with all of them at the same time. Even if those toys don't really go together, like Barbie and Army Men, they don't really go together, but you do it anyway. That's what Epic Movie is, and that's what Fortnite is. Brad Payne's 142 police. Defund the police. This thread is to address the main criticisms I've recently received. I am not going to respond to this anymore. The thread speaks for itself. If you've got a question, I've probably addressed it in this thread already. The drama's not been good for my mental health, and I started for sites going. Thinking of you. So, the Doom account got 666,000 subscribers. Yep. Twitter users when Stone Toss. People want about Stone Toss replies to any post with a Stone Toss comic. Yeah. every time. Love is love. A virus is a virus. Because, did you know most people with monkeypox are gay men? True statistic, look it up. Alright, I'll get back into making comics again. Jerry Springer was just the lolcast for boomers. Look here, folks. Anyone really been far, even as... I guess it's supposed to be Joe Biden, but I can't understand. Has anyone really been 04? That looks like an A. That is an A? Been far, even as decided to use, even go want to do look more like dark brown and racist. Do you want free speech to thrive? Yes. Then it has to be regulated now more than ever. No. If you regulate free speech, it's not free speech. Like, what do you not understand about this? I mean, technically they are correct in the fact that if we don't, it should have been worded to, it is impossible for free speech to thrive in the current age, because it really is. Because if you argue with people who aren't for free speech, they'll say something like, but, what about racism? Yeah, racism is wrong, but if you're being racist towards someone verbally, like nothing physical happening, no beating up or anything, just calling a black person the N-word maliciously, that's wrong, but nothing should be done about it unless it gets to the point of pure harassment. Yeah, that's really all I have to say about the subject. Its argument boils down to, we need to stop people from saying mean things because that could cause the offended group to initiate violence, and uses Russia as an example of this. So what, you're saying that all black people are violent? If a person will kill you over some words, the words aren't the problem. His argument is literally that Bill Burr joke about Chris Brown beating up Rihanna. He's like, well, what did he say? What did she say? She must have been saying some crap. I love Nicola Sturgeon. Of all times my wife went my Twitter while I was in the shower, this was the worst. So, Ivana and Uru what you got there? Hello indoors. This movie. This the words seem too foreign to be Lord of the Rings, so I don't know what it is. From narrowly avoiding prison after several trials to the fall of the Dragon Bunker, everything in this man's life that could have gone wrong went wrong, and it's only getting worse. And 99% of it was his fault. Dragon Lord Part 3, I've seen the video. 950,000 big PP happers, very big milestone, so close. Then why not hold out the 1 million? So Sue's making caramel cornflake top brownie. What? Seems a bit weird. Saudi woman given 34 years in prison for tweets. Now do you understand why we need free speech? It's also tiresome. In fact, I don't know how you do this. Maybe if you copy the link. I've got it. Wait, there it is. There we go. The left has just invented the term stochastic terrorism to describe any criticism of anything they do or say. You are not merely guilty of hate speech for disagreeing with them, you are now a literal terrorist. I want to make clear I've already seen this video. One, it's not like he took his mask off to cough. He took his mask off because he was about to speak. So maybe, he took his mask off and then realized, oh, I have to cough. And then decided, too late, I'm not going to put my mask back on. Also, I would also take my mask off to cough. Well, if I were still wearing masks, because I find the idea of coughing into a mask disgusting. If I hear one more Republican ever whining and crying about how some Democrat was mean to him in a restaurant, I'm going to lose my crap. I was 10:03 a.m. on, 12th of the 9th, for the 9th of the 12th, 2020. 1:03 a.m., 16th of August, 2022. Tonight was a rough one. I was at a Yankees game with my son's little league team, and out of the blue, and thanks to alcohol, I was targeted. Coaches who had just become aware of my Twitter started screaming my name and my handle, and then they started taunting me. To be honest, I'm shook. RAF pauses job offers for white men to meet impossible diversity targets. I'm actually going to screenshot that and send it to my mate in the Navy, because he wanted to join the RAF, and he's a whoops. He is a white man. White privilege is being barred from entry into your chosen career due to your skin color. Thanks to Paul for bringing attention to this important subject. Watch Paul's video here. Excuse my stomach again. Yeah, modern art. The bit in the background of his, behind his face is they took this beautiful piece. Like, I've seen the art and very beautiful. They took it and then dumped cardboard boxes in front of it and call that modern art. And that's basically what a lot of modern art is. It's just laziness. Just a bunch of crap. DeSantis wrapped up a news conference this morning that was ostensibly was about teacher recruitment. To hate him because he's good at this, I'm not going to look at a 2-minute 13-second video because I'm only on 7%. I've seen this video as well, by the way. Now, people are saying that he was just looking for the man. People are going to say that he was only looking for the guy that has his glasses too, but look at his face. He looks like a child. You couldn't deny in 2021 that Joe Biden has dementia. At this 2022, and it's only gotten worse. And as long as he doesn't die before 2023, it's going to get worse. Sorry, but it's getting worse by the day. Look at his face. Liz Cheney gets trounced in Wyoming election. Trump celebrates complete rebuke of January 6th conference. I don't know why they sent a photo of Paul's beard, but whatever. You'll love to see it. Even if you don't care about art, you should watch this to understand why you don't care about art. In a now viral video posted to TikTok, a father in California claims that a pediatrician asked his 3-year-old son what gender he believed he was during a routine checkup. Pediatrician? That's for feet, right? Top German officials trash people who may be planning to protest against energy blackouts as enemies of the state and extremists who want to overthrow the government. Sounds like what Rishi Sunak is saying about British people who hate the government. Anyway, experts are increasingly on the belief that the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago will actually serve to help Donald Trump's chances of becoming president again in the long run. Maybe. It has happened before. So if we read this out, let's check in what the last few free speech is. Another piece of Corona security theater manifested itself out of Joe Biden coughed into his hand immediately after taking off his mask during a bill saying, entirely disagree with the calls from the Tony Blair to get every adult another booster. Will Tony Blair just retire, please? Right? Becomes PM, ends up being the worst thing to ever happen to Britain in its history. Leaves, comes back years later in the middle of lockdown to say that what's happening now is bad, while also looking like if David Branley's Doctor Who had dementia. This man is Homelander thinking he's Iron Man. Offer it to the elderly and the vulnerable and use those resources in something far more worthwhile. No doubt calls for vaccine passports of football can happen again. Senior White House climate advisor has been sanctioned by National Academy of Science for violating its ethics policies. Get out of big cities. Fear of becoming desensitized to extreme violence, the murder of an 87-year-old man on a mobility scooter is a horrible landmark that would have caused a national moment of reflection even 20 years ago. Joe Biden's economy is sinking so fast that over 5 million Americans have gone to Mexico, according to a report. Sky News, most people who were infected with the Omicron variant didn't even realize that, Crowley. Yeah, because it was so incredibly mild. Yet many tried to lock us all down again anyway, and probably will again this winter. Refugees given free hotel rooms, swimming pool, free meals a day, and free cash in the UK staged a rooftop protest complaining they want to be sent to a different city. So ungrateful. I can't play it in time. Describing the colour of his clothes and not as if ethnicity will really help. BBC article doesn't even contain any image of the suspect despite his identity being tweeted by the police hours ago. They updated the article shortly after this tweet. I mean, it wouldn't say it's your tweet, Paul. Trump was having a poll that shows the FBI's raid on his property has greatly increased Republican voter appetite for the midterm elections. Yesterday, an abnormal health code case was presented at an IKEA in Shanghai. The entire mall's suddenly blocked. Let's check in on Zero Corona. Facebook has deployed one of his infamous fact checkers to suggest that the completely accurate claim that the IRS seeking the armed agents to use deadly force was partly false information. No, it's not. They got 87,000 more IRS agents. Then they trained them for home invasion, and then they're now authorizing them to use lethal force. I've even seen videos of them using this training. Electric car manufacturers have hiked the prices pretty much across the board, effectively cancelling out government tax credits. Incentives signed into law by Democrats this week after failing to convince even 40% of her own constituents to vote for Liz Cheney suggested Wednesday that she might try running for president. Rise of Andrew is reigning freshman boys. All your middle school and high school boys have, and they're addicted to his content. I'm not. I think he's cringe. Just this week, I've had 6 conversations with families about their sons saying crap like women are inferior to men, women belong in the kitchen, stuff like that. Not only are they making those misogynistic claims in class, but are literally refusing to do assignments if it's sourced from a woman. I have 3 boys refuse to read an article by a female author because women should only be housewives. But when I say I'm a teacher and here teaching you, the cognitive dissonance kicks in and starts saying, yeah, but teaching is a woman's job. Feels like society's not heading in a good direction. The left is suddenly being concerned by kids in school being indoctrinated. No, not like that. Um, Paul's right, but the difference between Andrew Tate and gay is that Andrew Tate wasn't intentional. It's it's just a case of this thing becoming a meme, and then assholes who just don't understand how memes work making it reality, like when people were wearing suits to Minions 2 and also wearing suits to Morbius and also wearing suits while watching the Better Call Saul finale and anything else that'll come out.